Welcome to yet another edition of Mental Health Issues with me, Brenda Bull. As usual, we talk about different things, different issues that has to do with our mental healthy. Now, today we are going to talk about mental healthy and school, the things that happen at school, some of the issues that take place at school, the things that disturb learners or maybe students at school, and how they cope with different situations. Now, today I have a guest who is going to be with me. Stay with me, dear listener, up until the end of this program. But first of all, welcome.
All right, so my name is Japhet Yolam.
Yes, Japhet Yolam. Welcome to the interview. Feel free. We are going to talk about mental health and school. So, first things first. What do you understand by the word mental health? What comes in your mind when you hear this word called mental health?
Okay, so mental health is just how the well-being of inside, because a lot of people have emotions and stuff, so how we take care of those things, that's how we define mental health, how things work out inside us. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much. So being here at school, you have different people around you, the people that you've never met in your life before. So how do you cope and how do you relate with everyone at school?
Okay, so as a school is something that consists of so many people and they have different cultures. So to cope with those things, with all the people, it's just a lot. But then we are humans. At sometimes we just have to understand and follow the lead. So sometimes we just follow and sometimes we just back off, like self-respect. So in doing the way, we can move on, or we can see if we can cope with all those people, we go on with them. But if we can't, we just do us. Yes.
Okay, fine. That's really a good answer, and you've emphasized on self-respect. Okay, thank you so much. I think at school we have different challenges. Do you have a challenge that makes you sick or makes you healthy? It makes your mental healthy unstable sometimes?
The challenges are just a lot, but there's this challenge that everyone, or maybe let's say our lecturers, expect us to be someone that we are not to be. So, it's a school, it has strategies, but then you also have your life. So, by trying to fit in, you kind of face trouble I kind of face trouble into trying to face into other things, becoming the person that I can't be. So that problem, especially, that's the case that I find it very stressing. Yeah.
Okay, at school, there is this issue about bullying. Do you have such cases on this school? Maybe they bully you, or maybe you've heard of someone being bullied, both physically or emotionally. Is there such cases here?
Yeah, the cases, as long as there are a lot of people, the cases have to be there. So just the same as here, there are also some cases, because people expect you to be what they think you can be. So they start putting a lot of comments about things that you are not. So in trying to cope with that things, you have trouble-minded, like you're trying to think all that, and then you want to be like the way that people expect you to be. So yeah, people bully mentally, but physically, because maybe we are all grown-ups, then it's kind of layer, but people bullying in some kind of like
comments.
Yes.
Comments.
Yes, those comments that makes you feel like you're not enough, you can't just fit in with them. So yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So the challenges are there. There is this thing of trying to bully you, or maybe negative comments, and maybe the pressure from our lecturers. So how best do you handle such situations?
Okay, so in a situation that we find people commenting about you, I mean, the best thing is reach out to people, because the more you keep to yourself, the more it becomes more difficult for you to handle, because that's when you hear that someone is sick mentally because he didn't open up. So if you have a friend as an advice, because to me, I always open up to someone that I feel like when I talk to this person, he gonna help. So same as to anyone else which confess these things, the best way is to open up to people. Like, I'm facing this, and then the friend is gonna see how he can help you. Or else, if you trust someone who is above you, or maybe the lectures, they are not all of them which are bad. You can trust someone, you can talk to them, and then they can guide you through it. So I feel like that is the way.
Okay. Talking about the lecturers, what role do your lecturers do? What role do your teachers play in supporting students' mental health?
Okay, so I think they are not doing nothing, but they have to do something, because, I mean, it's not about school. Okay, when you want to focus on school, you have to keep your mind clear. So in order to do that, they have to put something in place. I mean, not just school and school. You have to have those leisure time on the timetable, because timetable is about school. So in the curriculum, they can put something which can ease our mind. I think in that way they can help a lot of people to just focus on something, not school, because school is just also stressing at itself. So by just easing your mind and pray with people, laugh, they can help. By putting that in place, a lot of people can be helped with that.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. So this takes us to another question. Like, okay, how can schools prepare students for mental health challenges, especially in higher education and maybe beyond? How do you think schools can prepare such students' mental health?
Okay, so like here at college, people are grown up, so by preparing them in such mental health steps, they can actually counsel them, because if you talk to people, right, they can get things very good at themselves, because they are grown up. They are in contrast with those people which are just younger ones. So we are grown ups. So by counseling us and telling that this is school. So school, you don't expect things to be as you expect it to be. Some kind of you are going to face problems in the way. So by that, please do this and do that, or maybe follow this strategy to be helped. So we can just be counseled, because that's the best we can.
All right. So there is this thing called peer pressure at school, and I think it's a common thing. So how do you think peer pressure impacts your mental health?
So it just depends on the type of the peer pressure, because there are some kind of peer pressure which are positive. Yeah, but then we can also find other friends which can pressurize us into doing something which is not suitable. It's not good for our integrity. So I think peer pressure has to be there, and is still there. But then how people take it is how we can say.
Okay, so there is this thing called peer pressure, and it's a very common case, mostly in schools. So how do you think peer pressure impacts your mental health?
Okay, so let's just hit the point. I mean, peer pressure can impact our mental health in many ways, either negatively or positively. But most of the cases is the bad thing is those, because you can find your friends that want to do you, that want you to do good things. So the negative peer pressure impact our mental health in such a way that you keep thinking on the thing, even if you say no, but then you keep on thinking the thing, because the person that pressurized to do that something is gonna talk to other people, say, this nigga is just weak. Yeah, so by looking at those comments after the decision that you make, you're gonna find yourself thinking a lot on something which is not even there. But then you're losing your mind, or maybe your mental health is not stable. So.
All right, that's just it. Okay, so what are some of the ways to promote student self-care and stress management in schools?
Okay, so as I have already stressed on the point that we at the school have to put strategies that are not focusing on school. We have to do break on school, like just rest for a bit, just have fun time, just have like movie time sometimes, or maybe the curriculum can put in sports. It's not all the people who play sports, but then to just cheer the sports, look at the people play, you can ease up something which is on your mind. Because the more you talk to people, the more you feel like talking to people. Because sometimes you don't open up because we are not used to talk to people. So by interacting with people, the stress can even automatically go away. Yeah.
All right, dear listener, as we continue with our program on mental health issues with Brandebo, I think we should have a break. And then after, we are going to continue from where we stopped. Today, I'm talking to Japhet, who is a student at Chikawa TTC, and we are talking about mental health and school. So, I'm going to play you a song which you're going to enjoy, and then I'll be back.
Mopandamanta wazindikila ulipoweka undikonde mopandamanta wazindikila ulipoweka nati undikonde mopandamanta wazindikila ulipoweka undikonde mopandamanta wazindikila ulipoweka akawela kuzafunsa somangikekwe auze aziwe ulindikile akawela kuzafunsa somangikekwe auze aziwe ulindikile ndate la pano ine ndate la pano ndate la pano ine ndate la pano ndate la pano ine ndate la pano ndate ulipowe undikonde fundament zindekuda ulipowe akawela kuzafunsa somangikewe ause atiwe ulindi ine akawela kuzafunsa somangikewe ause atiwe ulindi ine napita kanende datela pano ine datela pano datipita kanende datela pano ine datela pano datela pano ine datela pano
Hello, dear listener. We are back. Now we are to continue with our program. Don't forget that today we are talking about mental health and school. And I've been joined by a young man who is schooling at Chicago TTC. And we are talking about different issues and different ideas that has to do with mental health. Do not forget, you're supposed to get something out of this program. Now, to continue, Japhet.
Yes.
What are some of the ways to measure the effectiveness of school-based mental health initiatives? Like, what do you think are some of the ways to measure the effectiveness of school-based mental health initiatives? For example, if there is a club here, how do you think that initiative help students' mental health? Are they really helping, or they're just maybe doing it because they're supposed to be here? I don't know. Do you have clubs here that help people who are mentally disturbed?
You can say technically no, but they were put in place, but then they haven't been working. But the ways can be there, because if you saw a live mango in the tree, there's no need for you to say that mango is live. Planeta, can you see the mango is live? You can do that because it's simple. It's easy to pick that. So we can also measure that by seeing the participation and interaction in the groups put in place. So like, we have a drama club here, but then we don't associate more, because I think maybe people just take it as stupid or something. But if that is that could be a way of measuring how mental health is being practiced, we can say that it's a failure, because there's no one in there. So if those clubbers are a way of helping people to be mentally healthy, then we failed, because there's no one there.
Yeah.
So by seeing those, that's how we measure on how we are progressing or not.
Okay. All right. I think coming here we have parents, and then I think I have a question on how can schools engage parents and the community in supporting students' mental health. How do you think schools can engage parents and the community in supporting students' mental health?
Yeah, so when we talk about mental health, it's not something which we experience in school, or maybe the problems we face at school are them that impact us most, but also how we live with our parents or whatever guardians we have at home. Because you can see me, I don't have to interact much, because that's how my parents raised me. You see? So it's like, maybe your parents don't want to interact with you. So in order to bring them in helping these people, or maybe us, to be mentally healthy, we have also to call for them to educate them, like specifically, because we can just tell them that we have this and do this, do this. Parents will also just take it as for granted, but then if we sit down with them, talk to them, and tell them that these things are need to be addressed, because they are simple things that we see, we think they are nothing, but then they are something to someone. So by telling them what they means to them or what they means to me, in that way, we can also engage them in helping these people, especially also us, in particular, to be mentally healthy.
All right. Okay, fine. So I'm just interested to know, here at school, what do you do when you're sad?
Okay, so this will sound corny and also it's gonna sound like stupid, but music to me is the key. So I found it myself listening to music, just listen to the beat. When I'm sad, most of the times I also listen to sad songs. So if I cry, the better. Because if I hold my tears back, then I'm holding the pain too. But if I release the tears, then that's how it's gonna go. But I know that I'm not someone else. Someone else can also cannot take this thing in a good way. Yeah. So to me, I found music and just learning a relief or maybe something to vent in my pain. Yeah. But to other people, it can be difficult. So as to me, that's how I vented. Yeah.
It's music. Okay, fine. Now, there is this issue about suicide. We've come across to many cases whereby students are just killing themselves. Yeah, and it's actually a big issue, especially last year and this year. So, what can you say about the killings that are happening?
Okay, so boys don't cry. That's what we say. We don't cry, but
Yeah, and mostly are boys who are killing themselves.
yes, because that's what I'm saying. Boys don't cry and they don't open up. We don't talk. I mean, if we are bored with something, we just pick a fight instead. But then we want to act tough in such a way because you just find yourself in some kind of situation that you can't handle it no more. Then you can talk to someone. You can't even cry to someone because at some point you just need someone to lean on it. So because we're trying to look like we're the toughest human being, So that's how we find ourselves like killing ourselves because we can't do nothing about anything. So these are the things that are happening most to boys, as you have already said, because we look at girls, we see she's weak. I mean, look at her, she's crying. But the moment she cry, all the pain can go away. I mean, she starts afresh. So I think because we don't like to open up much as boys, we want to be boys. That's what kills us most. Yeah.
Okay, fine. So, what advice can you give your fellow students out there, someone who is listening to you? What advice can you give that person concerning mental health? Like, how can that person take care of him or herself to avoid the suicide which is taking place?
You know, God was not crazy by making all those people in this planet. He knew that at some point we will need to talk to someone. I mean, to me, I say I can vent in my music or learning, but someone else can't do that. So to those people who are out there listening to these things, I mean, what I'm trying to tell you is open up. Tell your friend something. I mean, the shared problem is half solved. So if you tell something, even if he doesn't say something, but the moment you let that thing out, it's gone. Because you are able to talk to that free. But if you keep inside, then you're going to die with it. So as I'm saying, talk to someone, or maybe if you can talk to someone, lie to someone. We can lie anonymously, like there is page and stuff. We can lie anonymously to that person. Like people can help you there. even like to be human is just fucked up. Like, I'm sorry, forgive my language. It's just a lot. I mean, you can find yourself in a serious situation, you want to help, but someone is just saying stupid things. But then to handle those things, you find us other comments which are positive and can help you. So just put your stresses, your pain publicly, even in an unknown way. People are gonna help you.
All right, I think we are going towards the end of our program. And remember, today we were talking about mental health and school. Now, before we end this program, I want you to maybe tell your dear listener, or maybe your last words.
Okay, so my last phrase, when Blandy here found me to do this, I wasn't sure I can do it because, I mean, I didn't know what I could tell someone else. But after this conversation, I think I also just let something out that I want to tell people. So anyone who's out there who's listening to this today, I mean, life is just so interesting. So it's a waste of life to just kill yourself. So don't kill yourself. I mean, find something that can keep you busy. As I've said, to me, is music. You can also find your music too, or maybe you can join clubs, or maybe you can start a sports club. I mean, if you are a bowler, you can do whatever you want, but please don't just kill yourself because you don't know what God has planned for you. So to avoid all that, as I have already said, you can talk to your parents. Talk more. And then the less you can think of killing yourself. And avoid being alone because an idle mind is a devil's workshop. So the more devil play with your mind, the more you can think of killing yourself. But if you are associated with yourself with a lot of friends, or even if they don't have to be a friend, but just be on the group. I mean, watch how people are doing things. You can keep your mind busy with that. So your life matters, just know that.
Thank you so much, Japhet. We've really had a wonderful time. It was really nice talking to you, and you've shared different ideas whereby someone who is there listening to us is going to grab something out of this interview. So you've heard, Japhet, dear listener, that killing ourselves is not a solution. We have got different problems, but then problems are there. What we must do is to talk to someone, reach out there. At least don't just stay quiet. If you want to cry, cry. If you want to talk to someone, go on, talk to that person. Otherwise, if you're just staying quiet, that's when the idea of killing yourselves come in. So, dear listener, this marks the end of our program. You were with me, your host, Brandebo, as usual, until we meet next time. But I should thank Japhet. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It was really nice having you here.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so until next time, stay tuned. Remember to follow me. Bye.